Meeting called to order. Today is Tuesday, October 15th. It is now 6:02 PM. Town Council meeting is a sewer commission. 1170 Main Street, West Warwick, Rhode Island. Jay, will you lead us in prayer?
We ask for the wisdom to make good decisions, to speak with confidence and listen with compassion, and to work together to create a better way of life for the people of West Warwick. Amen.
Jay, will you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Council President Goslin.
Here.
Council Vice President Williamson.
Here.
Councilman Messier.
Here.
Councilman Licciardi.
Here.
Councilman Dennison.
Here.
Participating communities, Town of Coventry, Town of Situate, City of Cranston, City of Warwick, Town of West Greenwich. There is a quorum declared. Minutes of the previous meeting, approval of the September 17th, 2024 Sewer Commission meeting.
Move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Moving second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Reports, Superintendent's report.
Good evening, Council. I have the
Josh?
Superintendent's report for 2024, September 2024. The average daily flow was 3.6 MGD, maximum was at 8.1 MGD, minimum was at 1.8 MGD. CBOD removal, 99% at 2.5 milligrams per liter. The TSS removal was also at 99% at 2.7 milligrams per liter. Total FOS, we were at 0.07 milligrams per liter. And total sludge, we had a total of 510 tons go out, 0 go to Synagro, unfortunately, and 510 went to the landfill. Backups, we had 6 total. We had 2 in the public lines, Pike Street and Coesit Ave, and we had 4 in the private lines. We had 1 on Sturbridge Way, Wakefield Street, Providence Street, and the animal shelter. We had 17 odor complaints for the month of September. We had 8 on Fernwood Drive, 2 on Providence Street, Wakefield Street, Duke Street, Anderson Avenue, Kermit Avenue, and Janet Drive, and 2 on Overhill Drive. And there were 0 facility violations for the month of September.
Any questions? The amount of odor complaints, obviously, I know we brought that up numerous times. Duke Street, isn't that down?
Yeah,
towards
that's a different one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Something different?
for not the
Yeah.
facility, that's for the pump station, Maisie Quinn.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was an issue with the scrubber. It ran out of bleach. It got replenished and that issue was resolved.
What about the other ones? I know we talk about it all the time. We keep having these, we keep talking about them every month.
Correct.
What's the status?
It's an ongoing issue. We're continuing to try and figure out what the odor sources are and the best way to combat them. We're working with DEM currently.
Okay, I know we keep talking about every month, though. We keep working on it, but are we at some point ready for a resolution with this? Because I know, it's not my area, but I know I run into people all the time and it's always the same thing. It's always, it's tough to deal with.
Correct.
So where do we stand with?
So really the thing is we're trying to figure out what the actual sources are. 'Cause there's probably a bunch of different sources of odors in the area. So right now we have deployed different sensors and different odor to try and gather data to figure out where it's actually coming from. And once we figure out that, then it's going to be much easier to handle that problem and treat that problem.
But you're looking at pump stations, you're looking,
Correct.
you're
The
cleaning,
collection system,
you're cleaning lines, you're working with DEM. DEM has come down and actually been in the plant and said
several times.
it doesn't seem to be emanating from here, which kind of blows my mind, but so pump stations seem to be the next thing that they are looking at.
And the collection system at large.
Have we looked into Cranston E2 because they are rather heavy with odor too, off of 95 and in that area.
Yeah,
So I'm just wondering if it's something coinciding between the two communities.
that's always possible. We're not far away. I mean, depending on which way the wind's blowing.
There's also an issue with the mall at times and some of these people, these are mostly Natick down
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the Brookfield Flats. And I do get calls on a regular basis, and I know Josh and Jeff are out. And they've been working with Jim also to determine, but DEM is there, will continue to be there and can't pinpoint a particular time, can't pinpoint a particular thing. We did talk about at our last meeting, an old line near CVS.
Yes, up behind CVS, correct.
Yes, because that, I know that I can smell it there, numerous times I go up and down Wakefield Street any
Yeah,
given
we're
day.
currently looking at the best way to get our Vector over there, because it's kind of up behind
It is.
CVS in the woods.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to attack, but we're working on that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, John.
Industrial pretreatment report.
Not used to being on this side.
I know,
I looked over there too
when
myself.
it First came up.
Nice tie, Jim.
You like this?
No.
Gotta have a celebration tie, you know?
That's you.
Halloween's.
Yeah.
Okay, for the month of September, industrial pretreatment. We had, our significant industrial user, Farmera, did submit their self-monitoring report, and all of their limits were within permit. We issued a new permit for Northeast Testing Labs. Northeast Testing Lab is changing management, and that just generates a new permit. With regards to the private pump stations and wastewater collection systems, Showcase Cinema continues to truck their waste. They're still working on their force main and repairing that force main. As of the end of the month, that work has not been completed, so they continue to pump. With regards to the food services industry and our inspections, there were 5 of them that were inspected this month. Only 2 were found to be in violation. One was Boomerang, where the grease recovery device was not operational and not found to be functional. Since it was their second notice of violation, a $100 administrative penalty was issued. We also found that the Mexican grill had not had an operating grease recovery device, so a notice of violation was issued for those people. With regard to Bros Pizza on Quaker Lane, they're changing ownership, so a new permit was issued. With regards to plan reviews, there were 3 of them on what is referred to as 300 Quaker Lane. One is Airborne, Urban Airborne, the other one is Job Lot, and the final one is Honey Baked Ham. All of those submitted permits, our plans and specifications, and all were found to be in compliance. With regards to Pizza Nomad in the center of New England, they submitted the plans and an application, and they were found to be in compliance. Finally, at 99 James P. Murphy Highway, it now called for Energy Way. That facility or property is being subdivided, so we're looking at, we're working with them to make the subdivision, to split, so there's 2 separate sewer services. From what we understand, at 99 James P. Murphy Highway, they're preparing to place a school in that location. With regards to connections, Flash Car Wash continues construction in West Greenwich, and the same with 282 Pulaski Street in Coventry. They also continue construction.
Any questions for Jim? Jim, the school, what type of school are they looking to put in there?
We haven't seen an application yet. Or when we were out there just doing our inspections, they indicated a proposed school is going here. So we don't know yet. We'll let you know as the applications come in.
Thank you.
Financial report. Year-to-date operating and debt expenses for the current fiscal year through the end of September totaled $3,250,585, which is 34% of the annual budget. That amount includes $1,747,404 for operating expenses, and $1,503,181 for debt service. So we're 25% of the way through the year, and through the end of the first quarter, our operating expenses are 22%. So we're a little bit under budget on operating expenses at this point during the year. Overtime for the month of September was $12,597, which is 8% of the annual budget. Year-to-date overtime is $38,219, which is 24% of the approved budget. So we're right on par with overtime through the end of the first quarter. And we also have a savings in the general wages line item of $15,442. That is due to a vacant lead operator position and an employee who was out on leave, no pay. Sludge removal costs through the end of September totaled $238,325, which is 31% of the annual budget. That amount of $238,325 reflects an added expense of approximately $70,000 that we spent offloading at resource recovery, with Synagro being offline. Fiscal year 2025 sewer usage and industrial collections totaled $2,937,508, which is 37% of the total billed. Prior year sewer usage collections totaled $178,991, of which $14,390 is penalty interest. Year-to-date sewer assessment collections remain strong, with people paying off their sewer assessments. We've collected $171,155, which is 76% of the total billed, and cash and investments through the end of September totaled $3,861,648. That is my financial report, Council President.
Any questions? Thank you, Tony. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Next item is resolutions. Resolution SC 2024-20, amendment to Resolution 24-46.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Anybody want to speak on this amendment?
I'll take the initial. Back in April of 2024, I requested an American Rescue Plan encumbrance of $315,207 from American Rescue Plan as our co-share for the congressional aid that we intend or should be receiving shortly. We've since learned that they prefer that we do not use American Rescue Plan funds as our co-share. So this amended resolution will move the ARPA money to hopefully assist with our next resolution that you'll get a significant contribution towards the camera truck that we need, and we'll use the appropriate capital funds that's already been reserved for the 20% co-share on the congressional funds.
Any questions for Mark? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution SC 2024-21, purchase of a camera truck.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Mark, I think you just kind of went over it.
Essentially, the facility is in need of a truck that can be used jointly by them and our DPW for investigations. The cost is $315,630, of which just allocated the ARPA funds, and I believe the balance you were taking from their capital budget, the remaining balance from their capital budget.
Any questions for Mark? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Old business private pump stations.
Do we have anything on this? Do we have anything on private pump stations? I thought we went over this in depth last time.
We
So
did.
Private pump stations, with regards to the letters that were sent, we have all of the O&M manuals for them. We're currently reviewing them, and periodically we'll send out, comment letter and get backup information. But we do have the appropriate important data for those, private pump stations. And that's key, is contact people.
Yep. Any questions for Jim?
Thank you.
None.
Public comment.
Public comment on sewer. Hearing none.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Couple minute recess.